Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not familiar with Trucker John live stream. Is that your live stream? If so, it sounds like you've got a lot of exciting content lined up. Can you tell me more about it? To be honest, I'm not familiar with the Trucker John live stream. It sounds like a lively and exciting show, but I don't have enough information to give an opinion on it. Can you tell me more about it, or maybe provide a link to the stream so I can check it out? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any information about a YouTube live stream called Trucker John 3. Could you provide some more context or details about the live stream? Maybe it's a new or small channel that hasn't gained a lot of traction yet. I'm afraid I still can't find anything about a specific live stream called Trucker John on YouTube. It's possible that it's a small channel that's hard to find, or maybe it's a new live stream that hasn't gained a lot of traction yet. Could you tell me more about the live stream, like how long it's been running, what kind of content it usually covers, or any notable guests or segments? Oh, thanks for providing a link. I see that Trucker John 3 is a YouTube channel with over 50 subscribers. It looks like the channel mostly features videos about trucking, including road trip vlogs and trucker stories. Is that right? Wow, over 1,700 subscribers. That's quite impressive. It's clear that Trucker John has a dedicated following of people who are interested in his trucking adventures. Is he a full-time trucker, or does he just do it as a hobby? So if I'm understanding correctly, Trucker John used to drive trucks full-time, but now he drives for Uber and does live streams multiple times a week. Wow, that's quite the career shift. It's interesting to see how people can pivot from one job to another. That's a lot of hustle. What kind of content does he typically cover in his live streams? Welcome to the Trucker John live stream, where the conversation is always on the move. Join us as we navigate a wide range of topics, from politics to food to movies and everything in between. And don't forget to bring your questions and opinions, because we want to hear from you too. Buckle up and let's hit the road. Ha 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 ha. Glad to hear that I finally hit the mark. Let me know if you need any more suggestions or ideas for your live stream intro, to chat about anything else. I'm here to help and happy to keep the conversation going. Haha, you're very welcome. I'm glad we were able to work together to craft the perfect intro for your live stream. And thanks for giving me the opportunity to flex my creative muscles a bit. It was a fun challenge.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the place where no topic is off limits. Join me for a whirlwind tour through the latest in politics, pop culture, foodie favourites, and everything in between, with new episodes streaming every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, and Saturdays around 11 a.m. Pacific Time, right after the Hal Sparks show. There's always something new to discover. Don't miss out on the fun. Tune in now.
I forgot. My mic was off. I said, tune in now. Thank you, Pi. That was Pi, ladies and gentlemen. My new co-host, Pi. Or my new spokesperson. I don't know. Well, good morning. It's May 9th already. We're going to have a high of about, this says 80 something. I don't know. I was just looking at the forecast, like the next, as far as it went out, it was like 10 days. I think on Saturday or Sunday, we're going to hit 90 something. And then it's just going to be 90s all the way till the rest of the days of the show. So that's not good. Like mid 90s and upper 90s. That's not good for May, I don't think. That's way above average. And we've been having such beautiful weather these last few days, like in the 70s. And now we're going to be hitting by Sunday mid 90s in May. That's not good. Anyhow, looks like we have an intimate group today. It's like only 5 people watching. I don't know. Maybe no one's going to watch today. But hey, we got Jackie here. Jeannie's here. Jolie's here. Apparently, only people watching are people whose names start with the letter J. It's a J Day. You're on the Trucker John show. And with jets flying overhead. I don't know if you guys hear the jets, but there is a plane going overhead. So here we are. What's going on with y'all? What's going on with y'all? I'm just sort of having my morning coffee for this Thursday morning. Carrie C's here. Hey, TJ, Jeannie. Hey, your name doesn't start with, well, as far as I know, it doesn't start with J, but you're welcome anyhow to come on in. Jolie says, Hive 91 here in Fort Myers, Florida, currently lying by the pool. Well, aren't you Lottie Dahl, the life of Ryan over there by the pool? Now, you've earned it. Hope you're having a good time over there by the pool, with the fam, all that good stuff. Definitely pool weather coming up here in Vegas with all these 90 degrees, mid 90s. Definitely pool season coming up. So anyhow, let's see, what are we going to talk about today? What should we talk about? I was just listening on Stephanie Miller this morning a little bit about the Trump trial and all that. He sounds pretty guilty to me. This might be the only trial we get before the election where we actually get an outcome. He's gonna be found guilty, but will he go to jail? Or will it just be, a fine or something? Or if they don't, or is jail mandatory? If he gets found guilty, or at least, what would they put him, if they don't put him in jail? They're just gonna put him on probation? I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know. But so that's going on. He's going to be guilty. Look, folks, we just got to vote. Just make sure we show up in November and vote. And let's just be rid of him. Can we please just be rid of this boil on the American landscape, or whatever how we would word it. We need to rid ourselves of him as soon as we can. Alvin Stoops here. Hello, Alvin. Good to see Alvin. Carrie C, 59 in PA, Burr. I'd rather have 59 than 80 something already. 84 degrees here. It's going to be a warm day. Not that I don't like warm days, but I just when it comes this early in the year and we're going to be approaching close to 100 degrees, that means we're going to have just a scorching summer probably. Like last summer, we got away with a pretty cool summer overall. To me, it seemed cool. I mean, we didn't have our first 100-degree day until well into June, and then July came, and that was a scorcher. July was absolutely scorching. Seemed like it was 115 to 120 almost every day. And then August, I remember I thought August was going to be even worse, or at least as bad. And I remember in August, it rained almost every day. I mean, we had, not only is that like our monsoon season, but we just had rain coming, and that kept the temperatures down quite a bit. And I remember September rained a lot too. So I don't know if we're going to get that rain this year. Probably not. We're probably going to be hitting our first 100-degree day probably sometime this month, the way things are going. So we might have our first 100-degree day, official 100-degree day. Because sometimes people say, oh, it's been 100 degrees because they're going by their backyard thermometer or whatever. I'm talking about National Weather Service, official 100-degree day. Last year, it wasn't until at least mid-June or almost the end of June. And I bet you, I predict that we're going to have our first 100-degree day in sometime this month in May. Official 100-degree day, probably within the next couple weeks here. And so that means June's going to be really hot, and July is going to be scorching, and August is going to be scorching, and September might be scorching. So that's why I don't like these 100. We start getting warm this early in the year. To me, it just seems like we're going to have one hell of a summer. Last summer was great. It was actually great. We had really only 1 month which was July, which was really scorching, and then the rest of it wasn't that bad. Jackie said 90 degree in Texas today. Oh, did I read that one already? Andrew Petrie's here. Is saying just good morning to Jackie. The rest of us, not a good morning. Fancy's here, never fear. Fancy is here. Thanks for stopping on by. We're just talking weather, as I want to do. Talk a little weather, Trying to sit up in my chair so you guys can see my shirt, but I don't know if it's coming through. It's NASA. I got a NASA shirt. I have a couple NASA shirts. One of these days I'm going to have a proper chair or something, or have a proper setup where, things are, you can see my shirt. A jet is flying by right now as we try to proceed with the show. Here's something I wanted to read this. I don't normally read on the show, but today, looks like there's a bunch of updates going on. Today, I thought I'd just read a little something because it was really, 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 really good. Let's see if it'll come up. Now it's acting like an old slow thing here. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure some of you have heard of Heather Cox Richardson. That's a tough one to say. She's amazing. She's an amazing writer, and she does these letters from America or whatever she calls it. And I've been reading her letters from America almost every day. She writes about what was happening for that day, basically politically and in America. And she's really, really amazing. And so yesterday, I found one that I thought was really, I really loved it. I mean, I'm just going to read the first few paragraphs. Let me just read the first paragraphs because it's it shows us what's going on and the difference between having Joe Biden for president and say a Donald Trump for president. It really does a good job, I think, of contrasting this. And so here's what she said. She wrote this yesterday, or I read it yesterday. This is from May 8th, right? So today's the 9th. So this is from yesterday, I believe. Yeah. So it says. So here's Heather Cox Richardson. She goes, today in Racine, Wisconsin, President Joe Biden announced that Microsoft is investing $3.3 billion to build a new data center that will operate one of the most powerful artificial intelligence systems in the world. It is expected to create 2,300 union construction jobs, and employ 2,000 permanent workers. Okay, that's the first paragraph. And so just think of that. You didn't see that under Trump. 2,300 union construction jobs. And this facility is going to employ 2,000 permanent workers. You didn't see that under Trump, and you won't see that under Trump. But under Biden, his administration, his presidency, he's created I think 9 million jobs. I'm not reading the thing now. I think 9 million jobs. Trump was losing jobs. Just like, do you remember in 2008 when Bush was president still? And how we were hemorrhaging jobs under Bush. It was like 300,000 jobs we were losing every month. It was at least the last year or two of his presidency where we were just losing jobs. Jobs were just going away by the hundreds of thousands every single month. And then Obama got in the office, and what happened? We started gaining jobs again. And we flipped that. And then, for some goddamn reason, the American people voted for goddamn Trump. And what happens? Tanks the goddamn economy, and it just starts hemorrhaging jobs again. We get Biden, and now what happened? 9 million new jobs. And now, not only that, we've got industries and companies that are coming back to America. We're seeing a resurgence in unions and union jobs. And this year we got 2,300 union jobs coming back. Hey, Barney Thompson, good to see you. Big Hook's here. Good to see Big Hook. Thanks for being here. Big Hook says Biden is rebuilding America. But it happens all the fucking time. Do you remember when Ronald Reagan was president? And how bad the job market was? And then Bill Clinton came in, and we had this whole resurgence with Napa Valley, or with Silicon Valley, type of thing. And we had, and it turned the economy around, and we got jobs going, so many jobs, and then the American people. Well, we blame that one on the Supreme Court. They appointed Bush as president. Thank you, Florida, for your hanging chads, and thank you, Supreme Court, for just handing the election over to fucking Bush. And what happens to Bush? Leads us into these wars, and just. It's just more supply side economics, totally anti-union. We lose jobs, and we start hemorrhaging jobs. Like literally, I remember at one point, it was like 300,000 jobs losing every month, in the negative every month. So we had Clinton rebuild us, we had Obama rebuild the economy, bring jobs back. We're gaining millions of jobs, and then. The American people like to say, for some goddamn reason, well, we know why. It was a lot of Russian influence campaigns, Fox News, blowtorch propaganda, putting Trump on every little thing he did. So we end up getting him, and he tanks the economy, and now we get Biden in there, and he's rebuilding the economy, rebuilding America, as Big Hook said. It happens over and over and over again, this pattern. We got to stop this pattern. We got to stop electing Republicans. I'm going to keep saying this. I say this every show, and I'm going to keep saying it. Stop voting for goddamn Republicans. Aren't you sick of it? I'm sick of it. My entire voting life, this is what it's been. The Republicans get in and they fuck everything up. They destroy the economy. We lose jobs. Our wages go down, basically, when you factor in inflation. The Democrats get in there and they spend all their time cleaning everything up, getting things going back on the right track, getting new jobs, getting wages up, all that kind of stuff. And then the fucking Republicans get back in and they fuck it all up again. They destroy it all, and then we got to get back in. So we're always just playing kind of catch up. We got to stop this fucking pattern, people. I'm talking to the American voters right now. We got to stop this goddamn pattern. We need to just get a good 40 or 50 year run of just Democrats running the economy, getting jobs, getting wages, building the middle class. So I'm sick and tired of this back and forth pendulum swinging. It gets to the point where people say that's just the way it is. That's normal. That's not right. Maybe it's normal because that's what's been happening, but it shouldn't be. Okay, so I just read that first paragraph. I don't know if I need to read the rest of it, but she's great. Just check out Heather Cox Richardson. Every day she writes about basically the political goings on that are current, and then she always kind of has like a little history lesson of American history, and she at the bottom she'll put all of her kind of sources and stuff. She's a great writer. She's got a book out, I think. She's doing a book tour and stuff. So I just suggest checking out Heather Cox Richardson, and she's wonderful. And so I read that first paragraph. It just goes on and on about how different things are now with under Trump's plan. We're losing money, we're losing workers, we're losing jobs, and then under Biden it's just the opposite. We're gaining jobs, good paying jobs, building up the middle class. So I guess that's just going to be my message all the way till November, and then some, because we can't stop in November. I mean, we got to keep voting. There's salt and grease, but MTG said it's the Unity Party doing all the damage, and wasn't that a fucking wonderful, wonderful thing to see her get fucking, I would say bitch slapped, or that's kind of redundant or whatever, I don't know, but she got totally humiliated. It was, it couldn't have happened to a better person, right? I mean, she brings this up and just totally gets slapped down, and, even her own Republicans said, "What the fuck are you doing, Marge?" And of course, she'll take that to her little base, and she'll get reelected in her little ruby red district in Georgia. And who was it? I guess it was Ojeda was saying that she'll probably resign after a while because she doesn't like, no one likes to not be heard or not be or whatever, But I was just thinking, well, if that whatever she does, I don't know, but man, we need to get back to the House and just not ever put her on any type of committee. Don't give her any type of, just let her be the backbencher that she should be. I would like to see her out. I'd love to see who was running. Was it Marcus Flowers or whoever was running, or whoever was running against her? I'd love to see them win, but I don't see that happening. But she should be relegated to just be on the back bench, and take away her all these little committees that she's on or whatever. She uses that for her, her campaign financing and stuff. Chris Welch is here. Goofus versus Gallant. Yeah, Trump is Goofus and Joe Biden very gallant. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Sayhouse says, tell me what if the Republicans... Wait, tell me what if the Republican is hot, I guess hot and sexy, can we vote for them then? No. And I know you're being funny, you're being like a funny little thing. But the answer is, of course, no. Let's see what else we got going. Big Cook says, hi, Jolie. And Sayhouse says 11 Republicans voted with her. Yeah, but how many didn't vote for her? Yeah, that little, what do they call the Freedom Crackers? I guess she got those, and that was it. How many other Republicans voted against her? It was like, dozens, right? Big Cook boot in session. Yeah, good. She's hideous. And not just talking about the way she looks. She's just a hideous person. She's got a hideous personality. She's just the type of person that if you knew her in real life or met her, you would just be like, ugh. Okay, I'm gonna go over here, Marge. I'll be over here. You stay over there. Okay, I don't want anything to do with you because you are a disgusting person. You're just disgusting, so please do not approach my space. Please do not invade my personal space, Marge. Because you are hideous and disgusting, and I don't want anything to do with you. That's what I would be thinking. I don't know if I'd say that, but I would definitely be thinking that. Andrew Petrie and Boebert thinks, who the little bitch now, Marge? And Boebert's going to be gone, too. Boebert's not going to win. She's in that district that she moved to because she thought it would be safer, and I think that whole thing backfired, and I think she's going to lose that. So we'll be rid of Boebert. MTG is going to probably win her little district, but hopefully we can relegate her to just, once we get the House back, she'll be just irrelevant. Barney Thompson says, MTG and Bobo are so disrespectful to President Biden during the SOTA speeches. Yeah, they're just disgusting people. Andrew Petrie, autocorrect. Grr, I know, it's the bane of my existence, the autocorrect. Fancy says, did you see the Florida Senator hold a press conference outside the courthouse for Trump? It was pathetic. I did not see that. I did not. But I'm sure it was very pathetic. Salt and grease, make government boring again, right? Mr. Spock is here. Hello, Mr. Spock. Good to see you. Live long and prosper. Good to see old Mr. Spock here. Bonnie Thompson says, MTG reminds me of a Neanderthal woman. She is very Neanderthal-like. I agree. Big Hook, Big Hook. Stupidity and racism is a deadly contagious virus within the Republicans. Fancy says, low-class broads. And Andrew is saying hi to Mr. Spock. So yeah, so that really kind of gets my dandruff up. I know it's dander, whatever. I just want them to be gone, man. MTG, people still to this day keep saying that she's the pipe bomber person. So why don't they go after her? I guess, not enough evidence, but hopefully Boebert's gone. Hopefully MTG, like I say, will be just relegated to irrelevance once we get the House back. I think we're going to get the House back in November. Now, people are saying that we will probably lose the Senate. So, God damn it, what the fuck, people? People, why are we losing the Senate? Where is it that you guys aren't going to vote for Democrats? Where are we flipping seats? What the fuck, people? Have you not learned anything? Did you not hear the whole first part I just talked about? Were you guys not listening? You people in the States, wherever you're flipping these seats, so we're going to lose the Senate. What the fuck are you thinking? And why are we losing those seats? Why? What the fuck, man? Can't we put Democrats up to win these seats or keep these seats? What the hell's going on? It really bugs the hell out of me. There's no reason why we should be losing seats and lose the Senate. What the fuck, America? Sometimes, my fellow Americans, you just make me shake my goddamn head. What the fuck are you thinking? You're gonna elect a goddamn Republican? What did the Democrats do that was so bad that you're gonna vote for a Republican? I don't get you, man. I don't get you. Robert Perez is here, says Trucker John for president, or at least dog catcher. I would take a House seat in Nevada, House representative. I would take that. Big Hook, she can go back to being Q conspiracy theorist. She needs to just go back and just do her Pilates and whatever and work out and just fuck some old desperate dudes over at the gym. You think that would be enough for her to be happy? But no. She has to be fucking in the U.S. House and just fuck up the country. Fancy says, where did you hear that John doesn't sound right to me? Oh, about the pipe bombing thing? That's all over. Everyone's already saying that the pipe bomber that has the same mannerisms, the same walk and everything. Robert, you got my vote. Oh, well, thank you, Robert. At least I got one. As long as you live in Nevada. I don't know. And in my whatever district I would be running in. I assume, I don't even know who my representative is. I know I've looked it up. I know I've seen it. I know I've voted for a Democrat. I can't even remember the name now, but pretty sure it's all Democrats here in Clark County already. I'd probably have to move to another county, and try to flip a seat or something, or not another county, but another district. Pisces greeters here. Hey, good to see you, Pisces. Grita TK is in the chat. Over here in the chat with all the trucklers. I'm just looking at the thing. Everyone's just saying hello to TK. As a check-in. We've got 21 watching and 24 thumbs up. So that leads me to think that 3 people left already. Hey, we're in this for the long haul, folks. We're in this for the long haul, so the long haul. So let's just vote now. We got to get anyone who we know who's a Democrat or who's going to vote for a Democrat. We need to get them to the polls and make sure that they vote. If your friends are Republicans and they're just MAGA or whatever, just don't even mention the election day. Just it's like, hey, you might want to go fishing on that day or something. I don't know. But encourage all of your Democratic friends, or if they're not affiliated with a party, but they would be someone who would vote for a Democrat. Make sure you encourage them to vote and bring them. Say, hey, you want to come with me? Or if you guys live in the same district or have the same polling place or whatever. We need to get everyone to vote. None of this not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe trick anymore. And I am disappointed when I hear things like it's going to be tough for us to keep the Senate. That really does bum me out. Because I don't know why we would be losing Senate seats. That's what I want to know. Why are we losing Senate seats? Where is it going to be? Is it going to be like, was it West Virginia or something? Because Manchin's not running. So that's pretty hard to keep that seat. And as much as we hated Joe Manchin, the reason Joe Manchin was the way he was to keep that seat in West Virginia. We have to remember that. You can't just be a a Bernie Sanders in West Virginia or whatever. That's not going to work. So I guess we might lose that seat. What other seats we're going to lose? I think Sinema is she's going to lose, but I think we're going to get Gallegos, who's a Democrat. So that's going to be, and I think we're going to keep Kelly. So Arizona should be good. I think Nevada's good. I think we're going to keep ours. I'm not sure. Well, see, this one is Rosen, who's running this time, is up. Hopefully we'll keep her. Come on, you guys. Where are you guys letting me down? What states are letting me down besides West Virginia? What else we got going? You guys out there, you got to stop with this Republican bullshit, man. Like I said, I'm sick of it. But let's at least get, of course, the presidency. Keep Joe in there. Let's get the House back. If we lose the Senate, I don't know, because we need to keep the Senate because people. I've heard a couple. I think it was Mark Kelly, and I think there was another one. I forget who. Another senator who said if he gets elected and they have the House they have the Senate majority, that they would get rid of the filibuster. And wow, for people, these guys that actually come out and start saying that out loud, that they will vote or whatever to get rid of that rule, that stupid rule that's been holding us back for the last how many years? That the Republicans have been, just using that as their big obstruction for obstruction and to halt everything that they don't like. Man, so we need to get the Senate. We need to keep the Senate, and they can get rid of the filibuster, and they can actually get some stuff through. Maybe some SCOTUS expansion and things of this nature. So come on, man, it's so important. Don't vote for Republicans, please, man. You states that are where the Democrat is in trouble and we're gonna flip it. Please don't let that happen. Please don't let that happen. I'm so sick of it. I'm just so sick of Republicans and Republicans getting in and just fucking over our rights, taking away women's rights. They're gonna come after everything. They're gonna take all the rights that we worked so hard over the last 60 years, and they're just gonna strip it all away. They're gonna take it all away. Please stop electing Republicans. They don't like America. They don't like democracy. They don't like, as Wes Webb would say, or whoever it is, WW, constitutional republic, democracy. I guess I have to say the whole thing out for some people. You can't just cut it short and say democracy. Or they'll start saying that it's, it's not right or whatever. But you know what I mean. Stop voting for Republicans. God damn it. If it's one thing, man, if it's one thing that it bums me out so much, how far behind we are in the progress we could have made if Jimmy Carter had won his second term. And having Reagan get elected has set us back. It has set us back so far. And like I say, we get good Democrats in there, and all we're doing is playing catch up for all the fucking shit that the Republicans cause. Come on, we got to stop this pattern of Republicans fuck everything up, Democrats clean everything up, Republicans fuck it all up again. We just got to stop it. Just stop it, man. Hey, Colleen Turpin's here. Mass is a dim state. Well, that's good. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it dim. There's WW. New Jersey, Menendez is a crook. Yeah, and we're going to get rid of his ass. So is that one of the ones where a Republican might take his seat? I hope not. I hope we can replace him with a good Democrat. See, what we in the Democratic Party, when we have a piece of shit, we flush it down the toilet. When the Republicans have a piece of shit, they polish that turd, and they will put a nice little shine to it and say, look at, he's not so bad after all. Big Hook, if you need the filibuster, then you can codify Roe versus Wade. If you end the filibuster. W says, until the 80s, Republicans could be just as liberal as Dems. Yeah, and then that's what I was talking about. Since Reagan, especially, you can really, I think, see the downward spiral we've been in since Reagan. Pisces Reader says, my crazy conspiracy theorist sister says, do not vote Democratic, vote Republican. I do not agree with her. She tries to sway me, though. Well, you need to tell your sister why the Republicans have no business being in power. About how all they are is for the big corporations and the uber rich. And they don't give a shit about her, unless she's uber rich, I don't know. Because all they want to do is cut taxes for the very wealthy and strip away regulations so that it doesn't interfere with their businesses. So they don't have to put up with pesky things like, I don't know, safety and health and OSHA and, and anti-pollution type stuff. WW says, one party rule and the autocrats take over without fail. Hey, look. It's not my job to see that there's enough Republicans. The Republicans need to do a better job. And what they've done to get power is they lie and they cheat. Hey, if the Republicans were had any type of integrity, then I wouldn't mind so much maybe. But since they're really the Republican Party is really just a shithole party, like I said, and they're not for anything other than the ultra rich. That's really what they're all about. And we can see that they're just stripping away rights left and right. So I'm not going to say that we need to have them. And it's not incumbent on me to see that there's a second party or any other party. It's up to me to choose who I vote for. And I vote for Democrats because I think, by and large, yeah, we have Menendez. He's a turd. We're going to flush him. By and large, we're the better party. And we can see that. We can see the results of it every single time. At least since 1980. We've seen what Clinton did to the economy, which was good. Put us in surplus. Put us in surpluses. Obama took us from the Great Recession of W. Bush and turned that economy around and got us going again and brought back jobs. And then we see what Biden is doing. Greatest economy within my lifetime, but for sure. One of the greatest economic booms since the 50s probably. So it's not incumbent upon me to worry about the Republican Party. You have to vote for the best party, for the best people. So we could have 100 parties, but you got to vote for the best people. I'm just getting distracted because I'm hearing yelling going on. I hate when these people yell. I wish they would move away or get thrown in jail because they're yelling so much. I really don't like it. WW says the election is 6 months away, and then it just scrolled away. I'm not gonna scroll down because it was probably something stupid. Yeah, it's 6 months away, so it'll be here before you know it. It will be here before you know it. And Big Hook says, when talking about TK, I guess, When your sister loses her Medicaid and Social Security, Teresa, it will be too late to admit she chose wrong. That's another thing. And they're saying this out loud now, the Republicans, that they want to get rid of Social Security and Medicare. Or they want to put more and more restrictions on it. Or they want to raise the age. I'm 63. Am I 63? Yeah, I'm 63. And I'm starting to feel like there's a new thing going on every day with me. But I'm supposed to be working in some job that's like I'm a 25-year-old, like I've got the body and the physical ability of a 25-year-old, or when I was 25. Are you kidding me? They should be lowering the ages of Social Security and Medicare. Lower the ages, get us off of the work, roles or whatever, and let the young people work. They got the young, healthy bodies. Give those jobs to them. Let us retire with some dignity, for God's sakes. Let us have some health care so we can have whatever years we have left. We're not spending every minute trying to get, make sure we got rent money and milk money or whatever. So fuck the Republicans. I hate them. I really, truly do. Mr. Spock says, I downloaded some government congressional hearing testimony. It's huge. It's huge. Now I forgot when and why I downloaded it. Lots of redacted stuff. Well, maybe too much puff passing and, get that short-term memory loss or something. WW, it's a balance established by the Constitution. The only way that we could create a nation. You're missing my point. I'm just saying, look, you don't vote for another party because you want to keep balance. You vote for whoever you think is going to be the best for the country, the best for the people, and the best for yourself. You vote for the best people. You don't vote because you want to make sure that that each party is represented or whatever. That's stupid. You vote for whoever you think is the best. Period. End of story. Damn it. Big Hook says, when you vote Republican, you are saying, screw everyone, not rich. Exactly, Big Hook. W says, that's what I do. I vote Republican sometimes. Get over it. I don't give a fuck who you vote for. Well, I do, because I've been telling everybody to vote for Democrats. But vote for whoever you want to. But I'm basically talking about the United States Senate and the United States House of Representatives. I'm not talking about your little podunk Illinois bullshit. I don't know about your fucking Illinois local politics. And I don't care about Illinois out in the country. I'm talking about the federal level, basically. Although it's important to not to lose state houses and state, because then they pull their shenanigan bullshit too. But W, there's no hope for you. Just vote whoever the fuck you want to vote for. But for everybody else, you could probably trace most of the bullshit going on is caused by the Republicans. If your wages don't go up and jobs are going away and you're losing your health care and you're losing your Medicare and you're losing your rights, you're losing your body autonomy, it's not because of Democrats. It's because of Republicans. Just remember that. All that shit is because of Republicans. Hey, Nick Rich is here. I'm Rich in name only. Good to see Nick Rich. Fancy says Biden is the best. Bonnie Thompson says, vote for the common interest that will help most Americans. Pice Creator says, I so agree with you, Trucker John. Also vote for what's best for our country and what's best for the people. For the people. Mr. Spock says, thanks for the reminder. It's time for a clock pointing. Nick Rich 420, cloud pass alert. I don't know what pointing at a clock means. Does that mean like looking at your watch, looking at the clock? I guess that's what that means. Fancy says, don't do it, W. Pisces says, I live in Illinois. Our governor is a Democrat, just saying. I know, I shouldn't have said that about Illinois, but WW was just sort of pissing me off, so I guess I was just trying to, hit below the belt a little bit there. But, hey, look, overall, you could always, some Republican like WW will always point out Menendez, or always point out something like that. And my response is always, yeah, we don't like Menendez. We don't want him. We're going to get rid of him. He's going to go to jail. He's going to get prosecuted. So we're going to find a better replacement. That's what we do. We get rid of the crap and we bring up better ones. So Republicans, like I said, they just sort of embrace the shitty ones. Robert says, when is the next walk down the strip again, John? I don't know. We'll see. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'd like to do that more, but it takes so much time, and I'm really, it takes away time from my job, and I need to start doing that more. Because I just need to, make money, and when I'm out on the strip, I'm not driving. Driving is how I make my money. So, but I would like to do that, Robert. But I just don't know when. But I'm going to schedule some stuff. Plus, I still want to do some walks out at Red Rock, and either do live streams or do just a video. I don't know. I haven't been out there, and I've never live streamed out there. I've been out there, but it's been a long time. Like literally, like 12 years since I've been to Red Rock. And so of course I didn't do any live streaming then, but so I don't even know if you can live stream out there. Either A, I don't know what the signal is like out there, and then B, oh wow, my watch, I just unclipped my watch. I got to figure out if that's, I don't think that's like a national park. Because there's this thing about national parks where you can't do live streams from national parks. They will fine people. That's what I'm finding out. Because people were doing these live streams out at Lake Mead, which I guess that's a national park, or it's under the national park system, and they were getting fined, and they were telling them that you can't do live streams out there without permission or something. It's some kind of bullshit thing. Probably some Republican made that rule, and so I have to find out. There's a lot of stuff I got to find out, I guess, but well, I'll do some, Robert. We'll do some more, but I just got to figure out when and how to schedule it and all that kind of stuff. And I also would like to do Fremont Street again. So. Alvin Sue, I live in Southern Illinois too. I know I shouldn't have been bashing Illinois, but I was directing that at W for. He's always like, I vote Republican. I'm a Republican. Okay, we know you're a fucking Republican. All right. So be stupid. Paisa says, understand, do not blame you. My state is not perfect by no means. And no state is, and nobody, no person, no party is perfect. The Democratic Party is not perfect. It's my party. I prefer it. I think out of all the parties, it's the best one. That's why I'm a lifelong Democrat, but it's not perfect. It makes mistakes, too. Mr. Spock says, I'm voting for Author Q Walrus Titty. He's on the slightly silly ticket. Yeah, I've never heard of that. I guess the weed's kicking in. Robert Perez. Anyway, Trucker John, I'm off to Kaiser Permanente in Fontana. See you tonight. Oh, okay. Well, I hope you have a good time over at Kaiser. I hope everything's okay. Hope it all checks out okay for you. And thanks for being here. And yeah, I'll be back on again at 3. So we'll see you at 3 o'clock Pacific time. But yeah, I hope all goes well over there at Kaiser. Jolie's day drinking, but you're poolside, so I don't, and it's 90 degrees, so I don't blame you. Have one for me. Fancy's got the convoy going. Bonnie says it's 5 p.m. somewhere. Oh, that's right, because Jolie is, it's afternoon there where Jolie's at. So, yeah, poolside, got a drink. So, hey, sounds great. Sounds like someplace I'd like to be. Big Hook says, I didn't know you were friends with Seth Meyers, Jolie. I didn't either. Say hi to Seth for me. But, yeah, so I'm just trying to think why you would vote for a Republican. I'm just trying to think why. So is it because I know some of the people I've talked to, it's always because they think that Democrats are going to take away all their guns because they love guns so much. They don't like equality and equal rights and civil rights. They really don't like that. So they think that we're giving too many rights to gay people and letting them marry. They really don't like that gay people can get married. So that's another thing that they hate. See, they just hate this shit. They hate when other people have rights that doesn't really affect them. If you're just a straight guy in Alabama, how the hell does a gay couple, it could be in Alabama or it could be anywhere in the country, that gets married, how the fuck does that affect you? How in the fuck does allowing same-sex couples get married, how in the fuck does that affect you? It doesn't. But they hate that shit. So that's a major reason why they vote for Republicans. They hate same-sex couples being able to get married. And that's the honest to God truth. They hate that shit. Because I've spoken to them and they've told me that. And they don't like the fact that we want some just reasonable gun safety laws. They don't like that. To them, it's just, that's all gun grabbing. So they don't like gun grabbing, which is just bullshit. And they don't like gays. So gays and gun grabbing, they don't like that. They think we're weak on defense, which is bullshit. You see what Biden's doing? I mean, I feel completely safe with Biden as president. Okay, so yeah, gun grabbing, gays. They don't like abortion. They think that somehow, if a woman gets an abortion, that somehow affects them. I don't know how that affects this guy in Alabama working on a dock that I spoke to. I don't know how some woman in California or Florida or Texas or in Alabama getting an abortion, I don't know how that affects him. That affects his livelihood or affects his life in any way. For some reason, he's going to vote for Republicans because he thinks that women shouldn't have a choice over their body. That's why they vote for Republicans. I'm breaking it down. And what else is it? Those are the main reasons. It really is. That old thing about God's gays and whatever it was. That's true. It's all about somehow they have these religious views that makes them think that no one can get abortions, gays can't marry, gays can't even exist, apparently. So that's what it is. They want to impose their beliefs onto everyone else. They want everyone to live like they live or believe like they believe, and not allow for what is supposed to be this sort of big melting pot of a country, right? Where we have all these diverse beliefs and lifestyles, and backgrounds and ethnicities. We're all supposed to come to, ideally, we're all supposed to come together and live together, whatever this is. But we all know that's bullshit because we have all these people like these redneck fucking Republicans who don't want to let anyone live their best life. They just want everything to be just the way they live, and everyone must comport to the way their little narrow lifestyle, their little narrow set of beliefs are. Everyone must be in that little channel. Everyone must be that way, or else you're gonna get beat up or shot or thrown into a camp or whatever. So that's what they are like, and there's so many apparently because these Republicans win offices, they win presidencies. So there's that group, and then there's the other group though that are just all about the rich and having zero taxes for the rich, or as close to zero as possible, lowest as possible, and stripping away pesky regulations. So I guess I've just answered my own question. Why do people vote for Republicans? It's really hideous. Why do people vote for Democrats? Okay. I guess I'll just speak for myself, and I think there's a lot of people that may agree with it, but I think we vote for Democrats because we believe in equality. We believe in a strong social safety net. We believe in building from the middle class out. Right? Right? You know, we believe in things like Medicare for all. Now, our Democrats have been all over the place on that. But if you go back to when Medicare was signed into law by Johnson, Lyndon Baines Johnson, I remember, well, not at that time because I was like 5 or 6, but I remember, later hearing that Johnson and the Democrats, their plan, when they set it at 65, their plan was that about every 5 years they were going to lower the age down until it was like Medicare for all, basically. So it started at 65, and then in 5 years they were going to lower it at 60, and then 5 years after that, 55, and then 50, and 45, and so on and so on. But it never happened because then we got Nixon, who apparently some people's mothers loved Nixon. And then we got Nixon, and then we got Reagan, and it was like, forget about it. You're not getting you might not even get Medicare if we have anything to do with it. But the plan was to continually lower the age until it was like Medicare for all. And that never happened. So people could say, yeah, the Democrats really aren't for Medicare for all. It wasn't until maybe Bernie Sanders gained such popularity running for president, and then we see more and more talk about Medicare for all, but we still don't have it. We don't even have a public option. We do have Obamacare, but we don't have a public option, and we don't have Medicare for all. But that was the plan, but it didn't happen because people voted for Republicans. People voted for Nixon. People voted for Reagan and the Bushes and the Trump asshole that we have now, that we have, running again. So that's why we whether we have Medicare for all, we vote for Democrats because we have a chance of getting better health care, at least more people getting health care. We have a better chance of bringing more jobs, bringing higher paying jobs. I think we have more educational opportunities under Democrats. Higher educations or higher training you know, it doesn't have to be college. It could be, you know, training courses or whatever. We have better chance of unions being doing well and bringing good wages to people. It's just overall, when you vote for a Democrat, you're voting for the middle class. You're not voting for the rich, which is really all the Republican Party is about. They talk about this other stuff just so they can get the middle class people to vote for them. So they'll, you know, they gin up all these hot button emotional issues. Joey's got to go. Have a great day. Okay, Joey, thanks for being here. And have a great day out there in Fort Myers. Good you were with us for a little bit. Walter Makarovich is here. Hey, Walter. Says, good morning, Trucker John. Sorry I'm late. I think I figured out MAGA. They are scared of change. And any change, they just want to live in the past. Look at all they say. They will never embrace the future. Yeah, because the past... Just think about the past. The past didn't have civil rights. It didn't have equal rights. Hell, they go back far enough, it didn't even have women voting. There's a lot of Republicans that would like to see that again. So they lived the good old days of just having a few rich white men run everything. Big Hook says, billionaire money hoarding means fewer things can be utilized for everyone else. Taxation to the extent where everyone gets a fair shake is all Democrats want. Michael McAndrews, another day, make the repubs go away. Not the pubs. Let's keep the pubs. We need to keep the pubs. But the repubs, yeah, we could do without them. Yeah, but Michael McAndrews is here. Good to see you. Pisces Beer TK says, healthcare should either be free for all or very cheap and affordable. And once again, if you want Medicare for all, it's never going to happen with Republicans in power and holding majorities. That's why we need to get the House back. And we need to keep the Senate, people. We need to keep the Senate. And there's already been at least, I think, 2 senators that I've heard that if they win re-election and if they keep the Senate, if the Democrats keep the majority, that they are all for eliminating the filibuster. So that is why it's really important to vote for Democrats. You know, they're saying, they say stuff like Social Security should be eliminated. I say Social Security should be expanded, or I think they should, they're saying it's not going to be solvent or whatever in 2035. Raise the goddamn cap or eliminate the cap altogether. There'd be plenty of money then. You know, the cap of which they could tax for Social Security. Just eliminate it. And they keep wanting to raise the age where you can get full Social Security. I say lower the age. Like I said before, lower the age. Let's get more and more old people off. I mean, and I'm saying that if you want to keep working. But I'm just saying that, you know, a lot of us work physical jobs. We're not all just like bookkeepers or whatever. We can't work construction, or we can't work, we can't be a fireman at age 70, or, I mean, come on. We get old, our bodies break down. We can't do the stuff we used to do in our 20s and 30s. So let us at least have a nice security, Social Security. And I know that people say, well, you should be investing your money. There are better ways to invest your money and better ways to save for retirement. That's true. There probably are. I'm sure there are better than just relying on the government for that. But a lot of us didn't do that. Maybe we should have more emphasis on that as we're growing up, about saving and investing. But we don't really see that. So maybe, if we had a better system in place where that was a mindset, but we don't. Instead we just get offers of credit all the time. Just go ahead and just, max out your credit cards. It's okay. That's the type of mentality, especially in the 80s and 90s. It was just credit, 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 credit. Hardly anyone ever talked about saving and investing and for retirement. That should be a big push, But having a Social Security check is a great safety net. And I'm all for safety nets. Because I don't want to fall all the way to the floor. That hurts. Okay, there's Andrea. Andrea's here. Says, Teresa, what day did you notice on House so you weren't in chat? Oh, okay. Well, that's between you and Teresa and Andrea. So, oh, that's right. Andrea's brother is here. I guess that's Andrew Petrie, huh? So Andrew and Andrea. Hey, look at that. Well, I'm glad to see both of you guys in here. It's great to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for dropping by. Big Hook says, Fairy Mod Mother in the chat. So Andrew's going to try to fix a problem with Pisces Greeter. Pisces says, been a while. Okay, I'll let you guys work that out. Alvin Stube, I can take early retirement at 62. Yeah, you can take it, but you don't get your full retirement. That's the thing. They want to keep raising the age of full retirement. The Republicans do. And you can take it early, but then you don't make as much. You don't, So I'm just saying they shouldn't keep raising the age. I should put it at least 65, maybe even 60. That should be full retirement. Because it says it's called digging your own grave. I'm not sure what that was about. I guess maybe voting for Republicans is digging your own grave. Yeah, maybe. I think so. I'm just reading the stuff between Andrea and Pisces Reader. That's sort of an issue that she's having over, I guess, a house thing. So let you guys work that out. I hope that gets worked out. Alvin Sue says, I'm 67. Yeah, it's 67. And I'm saying the Republicans want to raise it to 70 or even maybe higher than that if they had their way, or get rid of it altogether. But yeah, full retirement, 67 right now. But the Republicans they think you should work till you're 70 or 75 without getting full retirement. And I'm saying it needs to be lower. I think it used to be 65 at one point. And the Republicans have been raising it. They want to keep raising it. I think it should be 60 at least, I don't know if at least is the right way of saying it, but maybe even 55. Why not 55? Let people retire. And like I say, let the younger people work more. They've got the health. We don't. We start losing our health. Andrew says, reason we losing our Social Security is because mismanagement of government money. They've invaded the lockbox. There was supposed to be a lockbox. It was locked, and you lock it, and you throw away the key, but someone found the key. And I think that was a Republican. Walter McCarovich says, thank you very much, Trucker John. You're exactly right. I would love to go back to do some of the work I've done in the past. I can't. I have serious pre-existing health issues. You got to just keep going. It could be worse. Hey, do what you can do. We all do what we can do. We're 60, 65, 70, 75. We're not going to do what we did at 30 physically, but you just do what you can do. Do what you can do. But I'm just saying, we need to have a nice, a nice little Social Security check. Enough that's going to pay the rent and pay for food and shit like that. None of this, Jetta was using an example. Someone was on Social Security disability and was only getting like $850 a month and couldn't get another job or they would lose that. And so the person said, I think I'll just try to get another job. You can't live on $850 a month. That's bullshit. And not be able to get any other type of income. You should be able to get that income plus, to add to whatever you can do. Because I'm sure that person's on disability can't do all the things, the things that person can do job-wise are limited because of the disability. Mr. Spock says in Japan, they have robot waiters controlled by mobility challenged people remotely. What's next? Robot sex dolls being controlled the same way? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Pikes Grader says, Nick Rich, I do miss you and everyone on House Chat. They'll get that worked out. I'm sure they'll get it worked out for you. Mr. Spock says, be a huge business if someone could develop it. Big money. Yeah, I guess so. Big Cook says, raise the Social Security limit on the millionaires and billionaires above 170,000 ceiling. Yeah, that's what I was saying about removing the cap. That's what I was saying. Mr. Spock laughing out if when. Andrew Petrie says, damn kids are taking our gerbs. Let them have them. Let them have the jobs. Let us retire. Let us retire with a little dignity and enjoy whatever years we have left instead of having to break our backs, our old creaky backs. Big Hook says, great minds think alike. Andrea, Tom Hartman is a great teacher. Oh, I didn't see about a Tom Hartman reference. I must have skipped something. Pikes says, I feel the Republican Party wants people to die. Well, that seems to be their health care plan. Wasn't it, was the guy from Florida? I forget his name now. I believe he was House Representative. I don't think he was a senator. But remember, his plan was, or what he said, the Republicans' health plan was, don't get sick, and if you get sick, die quickly, or something like that. And I think he was exactly right. MJ Daniel is here. Good morning to you. Good to see you, MJ. We got 28 watching, 37 thumbs ups. Can we get to 40 thumbs ups? That's always the question, isn't it? Let's make sure you hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share. Let's share the show. Get the share going. Get the show going. Get the shares going. Let's grow this show. We're at 1,730 subscribers. All lovely, lovely folks. And I love you so much. 1,730. Let's see if we can get to 2,000 subs. Do I hear 2,000? 2,000 subs. Going once, going twice. But yeah, hit that like, subscribe, or share. We also got super chats and memberships. You could be a trucker, just like me. MJ Daniel says, I'm 61 and would go on permanent vacation if I had the money. Yeah, Tawada 106. Well, to be fair, Republicans think government is the problem. Of course, they will suck at their job. Look, I think that ideally we have a good system where we have a good public and private partnerships. I think we have we can have just the right amount of social safety nets. We are a big, the richest country in the history of the world. We can afford to have social safety nets. We can afford to help people out in Social Security and Medicare and things of this nature. Pardon me, sorry. I know it's kind of gross. And we can also have, businesses, and we can have capitalism, and we can have people make profits and all that kind of stuff. We can do both. My dad always told me that we are big enough and rich enough to have both. That we're like a hybrid nation where we have social programs and we have, capitalism. We can do both. It's not an either or thing. And the problem with a lot of Republicans, especially the big uber rich ones, is that, well, they're kind of hypocrites too, because they want to, socialize their losses, put their losses onto the backs of the working people, but they want to privatize the gains. They want all the gains for themselves, where they don't have to pay any taxes or whatever. So they're hypocrites too, in that regard. Big Hook said, Andrew says, breaking news, judge rejects Hunter Biden's appeal on gun charges, paving the way for trial in June. I'd be interested to know if that was a Trump-appointed judge or not, or some sort of Republican judge. Price of Greater I am 60 years old since March. Big Hook says, Republicans want to increase retirement age so that by the time you reach it, you won't be able to collect the full benefits. Right, exactly. The older you are, the less time you'll have to collect. Because you're going to die. We all die. So if you start at 60, but you don't die until you're 83 or 85 or whatever, so you've got, 23, 25 years of collecting. If they set it at, let's say, at 70, then you might only get 10 or 15 years of collecting. So that's, It's very cold. They're very cold, aren't they? But when people get money, they spend it, and that money just goes right back into the economy. And that is like an economic stimulus. Nick Rich has John, I guess it's talking about me, has tried to put the chat up on screen yet. The big orange space on his right would be a good spot. I don't have that capability, Nick. I'm doing this off of a iPhone. Because I do have the chat running on my screen. I can see chat right there, but it's not. But this app doesn't have that ability to like broadcast that or whatever. Now someday when I get maybe a nice laptop, I'd like to get a nice MacBook Pro or whatever, and I can actually run a program, I guess like OBS or StreamYard or whatever. I think maybe then you could do that. Maybe I could do that. But I'm very limited in what I can do. That's why I need you to buy me a coffee or super chat or a membership or whatever you can do. Even just liking and subscribing helps grow the show. And then maybe someday I'll have the equipment where I could have this chat. But that's so. Thanks for bringing that up because it let me do a little more. Is shilling the right word? I don't know. Anyhow, Fancy says, "Bless you, John." Yeah, because I sneezed. Thank you, Fancy. Total 106 says, "For feck's sake, let's just take care of each other, especially the weak and the poor." Yeah, absolutely. Pisces Greeter says, my sister owns a gun and says no one is going to take away her guns. She feels Democrats may do that. Oh, brother, sister, give me a break. So, I don't think Democrats would take away her gun unless she's a felon and she's committed violent crimes, or unless she has a gun that's like a Gatling gun or something, you know. Hey, look at there, Nick Rich. Super chat received $1. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing, and that's a great thing. You know, I think a lot of people are hesitant to, you know, donate money or whatever because they think it has to be some big, huge amount. You know, even when it comes to like donating to a political campaign, literally, if let's say you had a candidate that you liked, and you think, oh God, I got to give him like $1,000 or something, but you don't. If everybody who was for Bernie Sanders or somebody, or Joe Biden or whatever, they have millions of supporters. If everybody gave $1 or $2 or $5, that really adds up. You know, so that's a great thing. I thank you so much, Nick Rich. I appreciate that. I'm going to give that a heart. Right there. Thank you, Nick Rich. That's pretty awesome. I guess Nick Rich really wants, he really wants that, the chat up there. Where was I at? I was somewhere. Oh, about the guns. Now, I think by and large, I think most Democrats want reasonable gun safety laws. They're not. Most Democrats, I think, they're not for just getting rid of all guns. It's basically, we're about universal background checks. We're about assault weapons, banning assault weapons, I think. And so that's where a lot of Republicans don't like that because they love assault weapons. But we see the carnage that they cause on these mass shootings, how horrible they are. But I mean, if you've got, you know, a handgun that you bought legally and it's a legal gun, and if you've got a shotgun or something like that for home protection, I mean, I don't see a big call for taking away those. But there are calls for assault weapons bans, which I'm in favor of. And there are and for these universal background checks, which I'm in favor of. Anything beyond that, and then, oh wow, Nick Rich, you're funny. $2. Filter time soon. It might be. I think it might be time. But thank you so much for getting another one there from Nick Rich. Nick Rich says Google cards work great. I don't know what that is. See, there's also the about talking about getting this would be a good spot for the chat. I also have a limited amount of knowledge of how to do that kind of shit. But I'm pretty sure on this thing that I'm using, I can't do that. But it's something I would have to figure out, you know. Total 106. I would take away all guns. How can you cook? How can you cook with them? Yeah, I don't know. But I'm talking about the fears of Republicans about if they vote for Democrats and the Democrats are going to come and take their guns away. I just don't see that. I do see, you know, stringent laws, you know, like background checks and things like that, gun show loopholes taken away, things of that nature. I do see a assault weapon ban, which I agree with, because when they had it for 10 years, the amount of mass shootings dropped dramatically. So, but I think Republicans think they should just have whatever guns they want, as many guns as they want, and can just take them wherever they want, like it's some sort of God-given right that they have. They can just have guns ablazing, or guns wherever they want, whenever, whatever. And there might be some people like Tawada 106 or whatever that says take away all the guns, but I don't think that that's really the majority of the sentiment. I think most people are like, hey, let's get some good, sensible gun safety laws. Just like we have automobile safety laws, we have machinery safety laws, and we have, businesses have to run under safety laws. Why can't we have safety laws for guns? I think that's basically the sentiment, is about common sense safety laws. Because guns, as we know, are deadly. Very, 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 very deadly. So there should be some associated safety laws associated with it. I said associated twice in the same sentence, I think. That was kind of weird. But to 106, it's such an old story, but taking the old people to die in mountain. Fancy, look at there. Thank you, Fancy. $2 super chat. You guys are so cool for doing that. Nick Rich says, Google gift cards. Get them anywhere. $15 minimum. Oh, okay. Big Hook, Tawada, you also have the suicide forest where abandoned cars line the entrance. Oh, yeah, I've heard about those. Those are really creepy. Midas Kevin Anderson says that Pisces Greater TK, hey, he did the Footloose reboot. Why not? I don't know who you guys are talking about. You talking about Kevin Bacon? So what I want to say, big my coworker took her life. It was really sad. I just hate this. Yeah, that is sad. Big Hook says, yeah, it's difficult when love is only shared in a repressed manner. You guys are getting dark. You guys are taking this to a dark place. So when we start getting dark, we need the purple beard guy, right? Because the purple beard guy, I don't know what it is about purple beard, but it just makes me feel happy. I hope it makes you feel happy. I feel good. I hope you feel good. Purple beard guy is here to just restore a little bit of, hope. Maybe hope. Hope is the word, maybe. So I hope I can restore hope and some positivity to your day. That things will go a little more positive and purpley and sparkly. Because we like being purpley and sparkly, and because we don't like when people are mean or grumpy or grouchy, like this guy. Come on, I'm not grumpy. I'm just a tough cookie. That's it. I'm a tough cookie. That doesn't mean I'm grumpy. I might have a little bit of grumpiness in my voice, but I'm not grumpy. I'm just tough. That's all. I'm just a tough cookie, and I'm not gonna let you bite into me because, well, basically you'll break your teeth because I'm such a tough cookie. But I'm not grumpy and mean. I want everyone to be happy. I want everybody to be, with their Social Security and their Medicare for all. I want all that for you guys. Don't think I don't. All right? So don't be going there, purple beard guy, and trying to say that I'm mean and grumpy, because I'm not. Oh, I know you're not. I know you're just underneath all that tough exterior of the old stale cookie. That there's underneath all that lies a heart of gold, I'm sure. I'm quite sure of it. So, but anyhow, so get your purple beard on, people, and be be sparkly and happy and good. All right, that was and scene. That was for Nick Rich 56, who loves the filters, as do I actually. Meme J Daniel says, what would be wrong with regulating assault weapons so you can own them with a special permit and only keep them locked safely away? Yeah, I mean, see, there's the things that we talk about. We could talk about that. But Republicans don't even want to talk about it. I mean, they just shut the conversation down because they say, see, you're a gun grabber. You just want to come in and take all my guns away. Whereas we, on the left, will try to say, hey, let's kick some ideas around. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe you should have a special permit. Maybe we should have these requirements where they have to be locked up and actually do that. But no. The Republicans are, no, don't you dare, don't you dare, don't you dare. Don't even talk about it. Don't even suggest anything. Anything you do is a violation of my Second Amendment rights to have a well-regulated militia. But well, whatever. But don't even talk about it because you're a gun grabber. If we even mention anything about, maybe we should have universal no, you're a gun grabber. You know? Maybe we should get rid of the gun show. Oh, you gun grabber. Maybe we should have a, a size restriction on the magazine. Oh, you gun grabber. That's all I can say. You're a gun grabber. But we're open to having, hey, let's try, maybe we can try this. Maybe this will work. Maybe we could put some certain things here. But, oh, you're just a gun grabber. You're just gun grabbers. It's all leading, it's a slippery slope. You know, you take away my magazine size down from 15 to 8. And the next thing you know, I'm just going to get a rubber band and a stick. Is all you're going to let me have. If that. Big Hook says that Paul Vlogger found a body in the forest. Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was a few years ago. Fancy says, I need to watch Footloose. It's been a long time since I saw it. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it also. But I do think I was on TV or something, or I remember watching it within the last few years, watching at least part of it. Like, you know how you do when you're like channel surfing or something. And, but yeah. It's kind of a cute movie, I guess. MJ Daniel says, regulate assault weapons so they can only be kept at a registered gun range. You can access your firearm whenever the range is open and it is a safe place. Or, yeah. Or even certain, like, hunting rifles and stuff like that. Like, it would have to be, like, be stored in an armory or whatever. And then whenever you're going to go out hunting, you just go pick it up. You say, hey, look, I'm going to be hunting. And then they issue it to you, and then you bring it back. But they're not, that's gun grabbing, I guess. Big Hook. In Japan, you are allowed to own guns, but they must be kept at the police station. And if you take it out, you must give dates and purpose for use and account for all ammunition used, including casings. I do think that most Americans would think that that's very that's, you know, I think that gets into privacy issues and freedom of movement issues. You know, that sounds all fine and dandy, but I'm kind of not even for that. I'm more, hey, let's just start off. Let's just do universal background checks. And let's do, I think we should do an assault weapons ban. You don't need a fucking AR-15 to go hunting. You don't need an AR-15 for even home protection. Get yourself a fucking shotgun, you know, and you're good. So, Daniel says the Republicans even blocked an attempt to add some mental illness to background checks. They seem to only want bloodshed and carnage because that is how they fundraise and get votes. Yeah, that's true. They did block any attempt for these background checks, to try to keep guns out of people who might not be in a mental state to be able to have one safely. Big Hook, the dark multiple killing fantasy in your home is sick and twisted. Fancy says, but they are all so tough they shouldn't need guns. Yeah. 2106, Big Hook, the suppressing Japan, I can't stand it. Minus Kevin says, yeah, we were talking about the Wormland reboot trucker, not the bacon one. I don't know what the Wormland reboot is. What's Wormland? I missed that one. Nick Rich says, revoke the Second Amendment, reform it at least. Yeah, it needs to be, but that's another thing. It's not just a waving of the magic wand and doing it. That takes an act of Congress, and to change the Constitution, and it also takes the states to ratify. It's a big deal. Like it's impossible. It's not that it can't be done, but it takes a political will, and it takes backing of the people getting the people in office to do that, i.e. Democrats, majorities, not only in the U.S. Congress but in the states. That's why it's important to vote Democrat in your state elections too. If we ever want to do anything meaningful, like rewording the Second Amendment, making it more clear and concise, and exactly, does it really pertain to personal protection, like Scalia said, in his Heller decision, I believe it was. And I kind of tend to agree with him, but I think he pulled a lot of shit out of his ass that the Constitution never said. But I do kind of agree with him that people should be allowed to have guns to protect themselves, but that's not in the Constitution, and I don't know where he pulled that shit. I guess I should read the Heller decision, because I don't think I've read parts of it, but he might outline exactly where he's getting it. But it sounds like a bunch of stuff that he just pulled out of his ass. But I do tend to agree with him to some extent, that people have a right to defend themselves, and I think they have a right to use guns to defend themselves, but I also think you should have to have background checks. I do think we should have limitations on guns, i.e. assault weapons. And I'm not an expert in guns, but I mean, I don't think you should be allowed to have, I don't know, like a bazooka or something for home protection, personal protection, because you might shoot the bad guy, but you're also going to take out half the neighborhood. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there are limitations, I believe, but I do believe you have a right to protect yourself and defend yourself. But I don't think that means you have a right to any and all weapons, all guns, anywhere, any place, any time. I mean, there should be restrictions placed on it. Andrea's got to run. Work is calling. Thanks, Andrea, for being here. I do appreciate you coming by. Good to see you always. Tim Nelson's here. So one leaves and another one enters. Thank you, Tim Nelson, for being here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. We're at 39. We're almost at 40 thumbs ups. I was wondering if we could hit 40 or not. But we might. We just might. We might get to the big 4-0. Fancy says Furiosa Mad Max Saga comes out on the 24th. I got that 4-1. I've been seeing that little, because I have all these, I got the Cinemax or Cinemark app and All the movie apps I have, because when I was truck driving, I would see movies all over the country. So I would go to different chains, right? So yeah, I saw that movie's come out and it looks pretty awesome. That's the one, the Hemsworth one we were kind of talking about, right? On one of the last shows. So just looking at the poster, it looks pretty awesome. So yeah, I want to check that out for sure. That's coming out really soon. That new one. Kevin Midas Kevin says Kitty Wormland played the son in the new Footloose, and Kevin Bacon played the kid in the old one. I didn't know there was a new Footloose. There's a new Footloose, and I don't know what. Oh, so Kitty Wormland is the actor. I don't know who Kitty Wormland is, and I don't know about a new Footloose. Did we need a new Footloose? Apparently, some people thought we did, because there's one out, apparently. MJ Daniel says, in this toxic atmosphere, the Republicans will not even vote to try to stop the war crimes in Ukraine. That's because the Republican Party, in large part, seems to be really sort of bought and paid for by Russia. So that's another thing to think about and to consider. If you're a Republican, why do you all of a sudden love the Russians so much and not see them as an adversary, but you want to do Putin's bidding, apparently? Well, what happened there? Big Hook says, NRA editorial that Heller absconded and tried to reshape as constitutional language, which it wasn't. The NRA said that? My point of that, bringing that up, was, I don't agree with Scalia. Like I said, I think he pulled a lot of shit out of his ass. I mean, I don't believe that the framers were talking about personal protection. I think they were talking about, since we didn't have a standing army, we were talking about having militias as our standing army, or to be called up. That's why it was all about mustering and having so much weapons and all that kind of stuff. And about having the states having the rights to have these militias. That's what that was really about. It wasn't about personal protection. So I disagree with Scalia that if he's saying that the Second Amendment had anything to do with an individual's right to carry weapons to protect themselves. I don't think the Second Amendment was about that at all. But I'm just saying, as an aside, maybe, or whatever, I do agree with that. I do think, I'm not saying this is constitutional, I'm just saying I think, and I think this is what Scalia thought, that people have a right to defend themselves and to have guns to defend themselves. And I do agree with that to some extent. But I do believe but I don't believe it's constitutional. I think that's the part where I think he just made up shit. He tried to bend and twist and contort the Second Amendment to get to that point. And I don't think it is there. But I do agree that that's when we're talking about, when we talk about reworking or redoing the Second Amendment, I think that should probably be in there. If we think that people should have the right to own guns to defend themselves, to protect themselves or their property or whatever, then it needs to be spelled out, and it's not. Anyhow, Keith Polite, we need to expand this report. I've been saying that. I've been saying that forever. And I think that I think it might have been Mark Kelly or somebody else saying that if they're elected or reelected, they will be in favor of eliminating the filibuster. And I think one person I was mentioning about codifying like Roe versus Wade, or codifying abortion rights and stuff. And I think another person, I forget which one, was specifically talking about expanding SCOTUS. Nick Rich, never trust Russia. Never trust Russia. That's right. I agree with that. Fancy says, sometimes I have a bad temper. I don't think I need a gun, laughing out loud. Well, yeah, that's the thing, too. You know, people need to kind of assess their own thing. I'm not sure if I would want to have a gun because of my bad temper sometimes. But I do like the idea of having a non-lethal gun. Or less than lethal, non-lethal, you know, like they've got some good ones of those that might be just as effective for home protection. Michael McAndrews, are we allowed to have nukes? No, we're not. MJ Daniel, conservatives rewrite parts of the U.S. Constitution to mean what they want, much as they do with the Bible. Yeah, sort of cherry pick and then mix things up and put this over here and that over there. And Michael McAndrews, the first thing says, well-regulated, duh. Right, that's true. It's right there, regulations, right there in the sentence. Midas Kevin says, you're too pretty for guns, Fancy. I thought he was talking about me for a minute there. Hey, Amy Rience is here. Good to see you, Amy. Thanks for coming by. Says, I don't want anyone's kid to get shot, and Republicans have done nothing to make that happen. Yeah, look, you'd think after Sandy Hook that would have done something, but these monsters like Alex Jones and all that bullshit saying it's just crisis actors and all that kind of shit, that motherfucker, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on that bullshit. Big Hook says they ignore the militia part because they would have to apply military standards to safely store the guns and ammo in a secure environment. Yeah, all they do is they take that one little clause of the Second Amendment, you know, the right to bear arms shall not be infringed or whatever. They don't take the whole thing. They take that one little section, and they live and die on that. Hey, there's Mark Lungo. Mark Lungo's here. I'm not sure if I've ever seen Mark Lungo in the chat, so welcome and thanks for being here. Hope you hit the like button. We're at 39 likes. I'm trying to get to 40 at least. Would be nice. 'Twould be nice to get to 40. But Mark Lungo says Putin is a racist, homophobic fascist who gives power to religious fundamentalists. That's why conservatives in the U.S. and elsewhere like him. Yeah, that's who they like. That's why they like Trump. Keith Police says we need to codify a right to privacy. Fancy says putting guns in classrooms is just wrong. Yeah, I don't think there's. Yeah, I mean, one of the Republican answers to Sandy Hook and to the other school shootings is let's arm teachers. Let's make, and it wasn't like the way they said it. Sometimes it wasn't just like let's let a teacher take their gun or whatever. It was no, let's make it mandatory that all teachers have to carry guns. And there's a lot of teachers that are like, I don't want to carry a fucking gun. I don't want to have anything to do with guns. I don't like guns. But it was almost like, okay, you have to carry a gun if you're a teacher. Are they going to be a teacher or are they going to be a cop? Michael McAndrews says the Republicans have made it much more dangerous for police and normal people. Yeah. There's a lot of cops. They don't like all these assault weapons being floating around and all these, high capacity and high velocity weapons. They don't want to go up against that. Michael McAndrews, we are supposed to be protecting the kids from terrorism, not terrorizing them. We're supposed to be making the schools safe so that the students and their parents can send their kids off to school with a reasonable expectation that their kids are going to be safe and they're going to come home to them at the end of the day. And In a lot of instances, we've failed in that. Made schools a very scary place to be. Scary for the kids, scary for the parents. And just making teachers take guns to the classroom is not going to take away that fear. Michael McAndrews, cops can have guns, not the teachers. Michael McAndrews says we shouldn't allow any weapons near our schools. Big Cook says, just like wanting pastors as guidance counselors with no educational background. Do they do that? Do they have pastors as school guidance counselors? Is that a thing? Walter Makarovich says, Trucker John, the best thing I've seen in the past day was a political yard sign. On top it said America. On the bottom it said, or Trump. The check mark was in the America box. That's a good one. Yeah, the choice is, do you want America or do you want Trump? Because you can't have both. Because Trump doesn't like America, or at least he doesn't like democracy, or he doesn't like what is it? The W. He doesn't like constitutional republic democracy, or whatever the fuck. He wants to be a dictator and a forever leader for however many years he has or time he has on this planet. He wants to be the dictator where everything goes through him. Whatever he says goes. He wants to be an autocrat. That's what he wants. Big Cook says, open carry now. What idiot came up with that? You know, I don't have a problem with open carry or concealed carry as long as the process is very thorough. The process to get those licenses, like I think you have to be licensed. I think you have to go through a really tough background check. I think you have to prove proficiency. You know, maybe I think there should be, you should have to carry insurance, all these type of things. And those are the type of things I think should be maybe made for all gun ownership. Whether it's just home protection, I think there should be stringent background checks. I think you should have to take a proficiency test on how to handle a gun. I think you should carry insurance in case your gun is used to kill someone or harm someone. So I don't have a problem with carry permits, concealed or open, as long as the process of getting there is very thorough and very stringent. And that's the difference. The Republicans say that the Second Amendment is their permit. Somehow they've contorted the Second Amendment to mean that is their right to carry. Disregarding the fact about all this talk about well-regulated militias, that they can just carry just because of that, and with no background check, nothing, no liability, no responsibility attached to it. You can just strap on a gun and carry it wherever you want. Because they say the Second Amendment says that they can do that, which is bullshit. It's horseshit. It's bullshit. It's horseshit. It's pig shit. It's every kind of shit you can imagine. Michael McAndrews says Bush effed us on open carry. I don't remember that really, but Big says you're going to need a bigger gun and better shield, Uvalde, essentially. Uh, yeah, Uvalde. I don't want to talk about Uvalde. God, the response, the lack of response, the non-response by these hundreds of cops. My God, if I was a cop in that hallway, you couldn't have stopped me from, after hearing, because almost every time you heard a pop go off with a gun, that was another kid getting their head blown off. You couldn't have stopped me from busting through that door and taking that shooter out. No one could have stopped me, even if that shooter shot me and killed me. You couldn't have stopped me from at least trying. I wouldn't have sat there for an hour while he's just popping off kids. You know, that is just so disgusting. Those cops, all those cops should all be fired. They should all be ashamed. They should live the rest of their lives in shame for what they did, for what they didn't do. How they just sat there and let those kids get massacred. Every single one of those goddamn cops should be fucking ashamed for the rest of their lives. They should never be allowed to be in a position where they're supposedly serving and protecting. Because they did neither on that day. Fancy says open carry should be for people who carry a lot of money. You know, that's the thing. We have lots of ideas. We have lots of opinions, don't we? And that's fine. That's great. That's the great thing about, like, the Democratic Party. We're open to discussing things and not just shutting the conversation down by saying, "Oh, you're a gun grabber. You're just a gun grabber." Nick Rich says, open carry why? Who's planning on a gunfight? Marshall Dillon. I'm just saying that if we're going to have it, then it needs to be very, very stringent in the background checks and have a really strong set of rules on it. You can be opposed to it. This is fine. But I'm just saying, if we're going to have, whether it's open carry or concealed carry, the process of getting that license, that permit, needs to be very stringent. That's all I'm saying. I'm not questioning why you need it or why you want. I'm just saying, if we do it, there has to be a very stringent, strict process to go through. Not anyone should just be able to allow to carry publicly, concealed or open. That's my opinion. Yeah, Fancy. They were stopping the parents who wanted to go in. If I was a parent, you wouldn't have been able to stop me. You would have to shoot. You would have to shoot me. You would not have been able to stop me without shooting me. At that point, if I saw all these cops just sitting around, standing there, you know, with their thumbs up their asses, and I'm hearing the gunshots going off, and I'm getting phone calls from inside the classroom from kids, and we know that some of them were able to say what was going on. We know what's going on. At some point, you would have to shoot me to stop me from going in there. And even if I didn't have a gun, I'd pick up a brick or a 2x4 or whatever I could find. But if you want to stop me, you're gonna have to shoot me, because I'm not. If my kid was in that classroom, no fucking way. I would have been punching cops, and they would have to shoot me. Michael McAndrew says, me too, John. Couldn't have stopped me from running in there. Yeah. I just don't get it. These cops, they're so macho, a lot of these cops. And that Uvalde Police Department, they had a picture of them. Remember, they had some pictures that were before, that they took, before this event happened, with them all in their like tactical gear and they're all like posing like they're fucking Rambo and shit. You know, and then when the shit happens, what'd they do? They fucking jerked off. Every single one of those motherfuckers should be fired at the very, very least. And they should be restricted from ever holding that responsibility ever again. Anywhere in the country. Let them move to Canada. I'm just kidding. To be cops. You know. Big Hook says, it was the border response team who finally had the balls to end Uvalde. Yeah. Fancy says, Trump just walked past the media. He didn't say anything, just threw up his power fist. Yeah. Hey, look at Jolie's back. Jolie's back. Thanks, Jolie, for coming back in. I was wondering. But you know, I want you to have a good time, so you don't have to if you don't want to. But she is reminding people about the memberships and super chats, and you can support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. And you can buy me a coffee. And we've had a couple of great super chatters in here. Nick Rich 56, and was it Fancy or someone? Forgive me for forgetting. But we've had that, so that was really awesome. And we've broken the 40 thumbs up mark. We're at 43. So I want to thank you guys for that, because we were stuck at 39 for a long time. Now we're at 43. So now my question is, can we get to 50? But we are at the 2-hour mark. We're at 2 hours, so I'm probably going to be ending this pretty soon, because we're going to be coming right back on at 3 o'clock. And hopefully, I do have something. I might have to go to Hertz. I think they want me to take the car back, because the car's at 50,000 miles, and they don't like keeping cars in their fleet too much past that, because then they want to sell them, and about 50,000 miles is when they start to pull them, because that's what happened to the last car I had. It was at 56,000 or something. So I think they want me to take it back. I might have to do that today. Hopefully I can have them do it tomorrow instead. I'm going to call them and see. And so hopefully we'll be back at 3 p.m. Pacific time. But anyhow, Jackie says, I have a concealed license and I went through training. The instructor was very strict. Yeah, so I think that, like I said, I think if you have a concealed carry or open carry, training should be required, proficiency should be required, like a test. I think insurance should be mandatory, just like you have to insure your cars. I think you should have to insure your guns. But yeah, I think the licensing on that should be very strict. Tim Nelson, a bullet would not have stopped me. Yeah, it just, I just don't get it. Over 100 cops just sitting there twiddling their thumbs. At some point, and if they were getting a directive from on high to not go in, at some point you got to say, fuck this shit. I'm going in. Because every minute they waited, that was another kid. You know? Big Hook says, no regulation against buying cop-killing, bulletproof, vest-penetrating bullets. I think there might be, though, some regulations against that nowadays. Jolie says, thanks everyone for the chatters and everyone for being here. And 56 new wheels for John. Oh yeah, about the Hertz. So I might be getting a different one. I hope. I don't like the black. The black is pretty. The black car. It is pretty, but it just shows every little speck of dust, and I don't like driving a dirty car for Uber. And no matter what color I get, I usually wash it, put it through the wash at least 2 or 3 times a week. But with the black, I mean, you can wash it, and then just a few minutes later, you're seeing fingerprints and dust on it. I mean, so it's a pain in the ass. So I hope I get a different color. That's the only reason. Otherwise, the car is great. It runs great, and all the Teslas I've had have all run great. I haven't had any like mechanical issues with any of them. Michael McGanner's trained, registered. Big Hook says, Jolie, you keep a lot of dentists in business from being so sweet. Jolie says, almost like it should be well regulated. Well, where have I heard that before? Right, exactly. Well regulated. Bicycle Mike 42, for the most part, cops suck. I'm not going to go that far. There's a lot of cops that I don't like. There's a lot of things I've seen in the news that I don't like, of course. You know, with the police brutality and all that. I'm not so sure if I'm willing to say that most cops suck or whatever. I'm still hopeful that the things that we've seen in the media is the exception rather than the rule, I hope. So, but yeah, a lot of them suck. That's for sure, in one way or another. But I'm not sure if I'm ready to go and say like it's a majority. I'm still hoping that that's the minority. Nick Rich got a dusty covered. Well, I'll tell you what, the gray was the best. It looked the best. It seemed to hide the dirt the best. I like the gray or the silver, whatever they're calling it. Although I would like to get a red one because that's the only one I haven't had yet. And I saw a beautiful Model Y yesterday. I had to go to what they call the Greenlight Hub. I think they call it Greenlight Hub. It's basically an Uber office. Because people have been leaving shit in the car, and then one person left a phone on the same day. It was a few days ago. Someone left their phone in the car, and then someone left their car keys in the car. And I tried to get a hold of them. There's a thing where they're supposed to be able to. I reported it, and there's supposed to be a thing where they can call Uber, and then Uber will forward the call to me, and then there's a way I'm supposed to be able to call them back if I didn't get the call. Anyway. I finally got a hold of the guy with the phone, and I went and met with him. I gave him his phone back, and then Uber pays me $20 for doing that. And then, but the keys, the person who left their car keys in the car, they contacted me through Uber. But whenever I tried to call them back on the callback number, it would just say call failed for some reason, like every single time. So I couldn't get a hold of him. So I ended up just taking it to dropping it off at an Uber office that they have here. And as far as I know, I haven't received any money for that. I'm supposed to get $20, I think. But anyhow, I saw there, I guess it was another Uber driver. He had this beautiful red Model Y. It was just absolutely gorgeous. And that's the one I want. I want the red Model Y. And I saw that one, and that really reconfirmed or whatever because I'm always like, maybe I should just go with the gray, maybe the whites, blah blah. But I saw that red one, and I was like, that's the one for me. Fancy says silver stays clean longer. I agree. So far that's been my experience. Bicycle Mike, 1 month since my heart attack today. Wow. Well, Bicycle Mike, I hope you're feeling better and on your road to recovery. Hang in there. Hang in there, man. Bicycle Mike, I'm slow but recovering. Well, just take your time. Recover. Go through the therapy or whatever that they have you going, that the doctor wants you to do. Probably rest and then gradually do more, right? So, yeah, just take care, man. Big Hook, Silver Highs does best. I agree. Big Hook, statistically, white cars have fewer accidents. And I do like the white. I had the white one, the last one I had, and I thought that looked perfectly fine. I like the white, and then you can put black accents around it, like black wheels. That one had black wheel covers, and then with the black kind of like trim around the windows and everything, and it looked really nice. Big Hook says black cars look better in the shade. I like black cars, and I like the black Tesla. I think it looks beautiful. but I would prefer a different color. All right, guys. Hey, look here. At 2 hours 14 minutes, I think I'm going to have to call an end to this. I do need to call Hertz and find out what they want me to do, and I'm hoping I can put that off till tomorrow. Because if I go in today, I'll miss the 3 o'clock show. There's just no doubt about it, because it takes forever. It takes forever. Even if they have this thing where you can check in remotely, like, and everything. But the last time I was there, I think, like, what was it, like 8 hours or 9 hours or something. It was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was worse than the DMV. So I'm gonna see if I can get that pushed off until tomorrow, because otherwise I won't be back at 3, unless I do the show from the Hertz office. But that's not right. I mean, I can't really do that, and it won't work. I mean, I could do a quick little hello and goodbye thing, but I can't do like a whole, House Sparks pre-show warm-up, which is what we're going to do at 3 o'clock Pacific time. It's going to be the House Sparks pre-show warm-up, because you guys know I feel concerned about you. I care about you. And it looks like Wes Webb is over on Facebook. So thanks, Wes, for going over there. At least I've got one person over on Facebook. But as I was saying, 3 p.m. Pacific time, come on back here to the Trucker John channel. We're gonna get you warmed up. We're gonna make sure you're loose and warm going into Hal, because we know Hal can kind of push things. He can kind of push the limits, kind of get you going, right? And so you want to be loose and warmed up and ready to go, because you certainly do not want to ever pull a hammy. Lightning, thunder, dark. The lights are flickering. I don't have the effects like Hal does, but yeah, it's dark and scary and lightning. Whenever I say you don't want to pull a hammy, that's just imagine all that other stuff, because that's, if I could do that, I would do that. But apparently I can't. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Hey, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for watching the Trucker Show, hanging out with us, that sort of stuff. It's really cool, I really love it. Thanks.
I, Donald J. Trump, do solemnly swear that I've never farted in court ever, not once, not ever, not ever. It's all lies, fake news.